Hello, 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 and welcome to this week's edition of Visibility Made Easy. So, Visibility Made Easy is for you if you are looking at ways to get yourself out there, to get yourself seen, to get yourself noticed, heard by the people that you really love working with. Not everybody in the whole world, just those people that you love working with and that you benefit from what you do. So, Visibility Made Easy is usually here on a Thursday around this time at 6 o'clock, subject to my schedule. This is 6 p.m. in the UK. So if you're watching from Australia, New Zealand, America and the different time zones, Europe, it could be slightly different, but always check with your preferred translator of choice. So if you are like Alan, who hops on right at the beginning and says hello and interacts, then do that too. If you are feeding the kids, more of a lurker, more like just wanting to see what's going on in the background, you are absolutely welcome here. And know that I won't shout you out unless you type something in the box below, in the comment below. So, Visibility Made Easy, it's my thing, it's my jam, and I know how easy it can be, but I also know how complicated we can make it. So Visibility Made Easy really makes this so easy that you'll actually think you're missing something. You'll hear what I'm saying, and some of you may think, I'm missing something here. It can't be that easy. Oh yes, it can. If it's complicated, it doesn't make it onto this show. So if you want access to be able to have help with this 24/7, at your fingertips for a very sort of small investment, then keep listening and I'll let you know towards the end of this how you can do that too. So here's what I'm going to talk about today. I am the Jenny Kovacs up there, known as the Queen of Being Seen, because making you visible, having you stand out to the people that you absolutely love is quite frankly why I get out of bed in the mornings. And I've been helping people to stand out since 2010 officially, and unofficially for nearly 3 decades. Don't tell anybody. Starting to wear the glasses now to hide the bags under my eyes, but also to make sure I can see your comments. So I might do a bit of taking my glasses on and off. And tonight I wanted to talk about what to focus on, like visibility, what to focus on, because so many people are at different places. Some of you, it's like knowing a bit about how to repeat the process. You've done quite a few things within your business, they've worked really well, and you want to repeat the process. And for some of you, you want to get kind of clearer, more confident in your conversations, as much verbally on the outside as you actually feel deep down on the inside. So before I can answer what you could focus on first, because let's face it, all sorts of people watching here. We've got Alan, who is an awesome coach, great with helping you out of tough situations in your life and navigating those calm waters. And he can do that in lots of different motivational ways. One way he's really great at doing that is through money, helping you to, rein back spending, stay out of debt. Then we've got Ian, who made this calendar behind me. That's one of the many feathers to his bow. So Ian is really great with photography. I happen to know he's a great cook. Not that I've eaten any of his food yet, but he's teased us in the Visibility Vibes tribe with photos of his food. But I also know he's great at helping people with their web services. And he helps them in lots of different ways. He's got a brilliant acronym. So when you meet him, either in the group, online, offline, in the flesh, I'll let him explain exactly what he does. So all of these different ways that you can help people, all of these different ways that you can be visible. So what do you focus on first? Well, many of you will know that I have a visibility vibe system, which is 5 steps. It's like 5 really key and easy ways to be visible. And of course, for some of you, you'll need to drill down deeper in one area more than another, so that you can really get in front of the people that you want. One of the things that people say to me a lot is, I don't know what to say. I don't know how to say it. I don't know how to sound this way. For those of you that are in the inner circle, we will be having a Q&A at 7 o'clock. So you'll be able to jump in and ask the questions live in there. Or type the questions. And with that comes Ivona, who says, "Hi Jenny, hi all." So we're waving back at Ivona too, who, by the way, is a relationship coach. So knowing what to focus on needs just a little bit of pre-work. But don't worry, I'm going to give you the pre-work right now. There are 3 key elements. I know that I've talked about the vibe system very quickly, you know, the 5 key steps of the vibe system. But before you even get to that, this is the way to get yourself visible, know what to focus on at which time, and know what to share, whilst avoiding overwhelm, avoiding procrastination, avoiding burnout. I'm definitely not a fan of that. And avoiding being like just famous, Facebook famous for the sake of it. And by Facebook famous for the sake of it, I know people who religiously post and share and do videos and share content on Facebook, and then they'll say to me, "But I'm not really getting a lot back from it. I'm not really seeing the benefits of it." And it's usually because they haven't gone through these 3 ways. So here's the first way. So if you think of ABC, because it really is as easy as ABC, the first way is like your audience. Who are your audience? Now, so many of you want to help everyone, so you will tell me that your audience is everyone, and actually it isn't, because this could include the way they act, the way they think, their behaviours, the psychographics, the demographics, or all or some or none of the above. So you need to have some clarity on your audience. This isn't about niching. This is knowing who out there in the whole wide world. I mean, there's 2 billion active users on Facebook alone. So who out of that 2 billion would most benefit from your services? Now, if you're thinking, well, it'll be business owners. So, for example, I will often say busy business owners, but actually the people that get the most from my work are those busy business owners who have had a quote-unquote professional life. So they've either studied their rocks off and become lawyers, or studied really hard and worked in HR. They're training professionals. They've been directors. They've been... I'm trying to think who else I've had. I've even had like pharmacists, forensic scientists. They've worked really, really hard. They've been at the top of their game corporately, and they bring that professionalism to their business. But then when they're trying to attract more people into their audience, or trying to build their business, something isn't quite working out for them. Something's getting in the way. So out of all of those busy business owners out there, yes, you could all, I'm sure, get some benefit from something I share, but the ones that get it the most are the ones who have are trained professionals. They've got that in there. So who are your audience? You know, if you know off the top of your head, like, type it in a box below. Let other people know, because I know that many of you will watch this on the replay too. So who is your audience? And once you're clear on who your audience is, like, you know it's working when you've got an audience, you're happy with the number of people you've got, even if it's just a handful of hundreds, and you're getting lots of engagement, you know, they are interacting with you, and they are buying and purchasing your stuff, whether it's an online something or in the flesh something, or the opportunity to work up close and personal with you. Now, sometimes in this segment, people will say, "Oh, but I don't really have any audience yet. I've just started doing what I'm doing," or "I've got an old audience and I think it's, you know, I'm moving more from people with blue hair to people with pink hair." So that's the first thing to do. Knowing where to focus is get really, really clear on who your audience is exactly. Okay, because from then you can decide to grow it, to scale it, how quickly you want to grow it, and you can get clarity. There's a lot more underneath that, but that will do for now. Don't want you being in overwhelm. So who are your audience? Get really clear on that so that you can then start to attract more of those people in, and speak to more of them in your marketing messages. So then B is all about the business, and this is not just about the business as we know it. This is about the business model. This is about how you do things. Do you want to be a person that sells both online and offline, or do you just want to sell online? You know, I've got a client at the moment who all they want to do is sell online. They've got a family to look after. You know, they don't want to be traveling here, there and everywhere. And, you know, they're not one of my clients who's saying, "I want to be an international speaker." They want to just do their stuff online. They don't even mind if people are local to them or worldwide, as long as they are seeing them online. So this is a really important thing to get clear on, like how are you going to do this with your business. Now, you know that you might have an issue when if you've got a business and you've been doing it for a few years, but you haven't actually had any clients. Now, I see this a lot, especially in the entrepreneurial space, especially in the online space, because it feels like you're having to sort of twist things and turn things to be able to get really clear on what's needed. So one of the most important things you can do is decide how you want to deliver it. And don't base it on your favourite character out there or your favourite business person out there. Base it on you and your life. This is really, really important. If, like that client, you've got a family that you want to support, you don't want to travel anywhere, you just want to look after them locally, just want to look after them online, then online is totally for you, because there's a different set of things that you'll need to do to A, attract your audience, and B, demonstrate your credibility. So you might decide, well, you want a myriad of things. So, for example, I love video. I love this element of online, interacting with you, speaking to you. But I also love public speaking. I like the energy of being in a room with people, hearing what they're talking about, seeing the whites of their eyes, and being able to give them a hug in person. So I kind of straddle both. But I'm very clear that I don't want my business to be solely run by just online courses. And for me, a lot of the time when I do produce something online, I want it to be less of a course and more to be something that actually helps you day by day. I kind of want you to have like Jenny in my pocket, so that you can say, oh, how do I do this? And there's a resource for you. So I'm going to come on to the third thing to look out for. And just before I do that, in fact, let me just finish with the business model. If you are getting no buyers for your stuff, or sporadic buyers for your stuff and your work, then you will need to look at this area. That will let you know what to focus on visibility wise. And the reason I say that is because people think that this is a problem for startups, but actually quite often when you've gone into business for a few years and maybe you've decided you're going to raise your rates, you're going to finesse your offerings, you're going to slightly change what you did at the start and change it now. In fact, I would say a lot of the people that fall into this category actually are in between the kind of 4 years of business to like anything up to 10 years of business. If this is you and all of a sudden what you were doing before isn't working anymore, don't worry, don't panic. You don't need to push yourself harder, whip yourself, judge yourself or anything else like that. You just need to likely focus slightly more in this area first so that you can get really clear on how you're going to serve people moving forward. The painful bit for you guys is that you will want to cut some of the stuff that you're doing. Now, I wish I could give it a gardening analogy, oh, well, just trim that branch off. But for any of you that's ever had a garden or a plant that you've loved, do you know how difficult it is to say, you've got too many leaves, I'm going to have to cut some of you off. It's like, which one do I cut off? How do I do it? What if it looks funny afterwards? What if people don't recognise it? You go through the same thing as a business owner. So if you are finding that no one's buying or you're considering these other areas, then don't worry. It's something that you can expect within your business, but it's something that you just need to pay attention to. Make sense? If it does, give me a thumbs up or a love heart. So that said, I did say at the beginning of this that I would let you know if you wanted access like 24/7, like Jenny in your pocket 24/7, and you want to be able to look at different pieces of my Vibe system, which helps you to be even more visible than you already are, then you can actually get access to this online. Now, here's what you get if you do that, and I will put the link below in the comments. You actually get, like I say, 24/7 access to different ways of learning how to become more visible. They could be in the form of interviews where you hear from experts about how best to do a specific thing. They could be a little video clip from me. In fact, I had a lovely client who called me a few weeks ago and went through the plan piece, so helping you to plan out just for 90 days. And they said that they went through it and they've worked with me before, they've worked with me personally, but they got so much more clarity. And I'll be honest with you, I'm a bit paranoid about my training and it being effective. So I actually, this sounds nuts, but I go through my own training every now and then. I want to make sure, is there something that needs to be updated? Is it still relevant? Do I need to explain something more? Have I presumed something more? So this is a sort of access that you get in there. So you can watch an interview for 45 minutes, or you can listen to a 5-minute audio file, which will maybe help you have clearer sales conversations, or bridge the gap between when you go out to a networking meeting or an event and then you go back in. And Amanda's on. She says, it's not nuts, I do it too. We're kind of geeks like that. Amanda, by the way, is an awesome, amazing marketer. And Faye, if you watch this back on the replay or jump in later, you and Amanda are cut from the same cloth, and you're both in the same part of the world. So next time I'm up there, we're all going out for tea, cake, and maybe a cheeky cocktail. Who knows? So this is the thing that I want you to be able to do. So some of you, you've got lots of experience. You don't need me breathing down your neck every 5 seconds. You just need a resource library where you could just go pick what you need. Like as I was saying to a friend a few days ago, the right tool for the right job. If you're about to start chopping carrots, then you need a nice vegetable knife. If you're about to fillet some fish, you need a nice flexible fish knife. Try chopping hard carrots with a fish knife and you'll see what happens. Okay, it's all bendy, all flexible. You could end up cutting your fingers. So that's what is offered within there. Now, if that's something that appeals to you, like I say, I'll pop the link down underneath. So that you can just click on it and go. You can either pay by PayPal or debit card or credit card. And I'm going to go to the third thing that I wanted to share with you. But just to say, it's as little as £29 every month, rolling subscription. You stop it when you're ready. Or if you want to take advantage of like really getting good money's worth, you can pay quarterly, £81 a quarter, which includes VAT, unbelievably. Or if you are like some of my people that like to just buy it straight out for a year, then you actually get access for a whole 12 months for the price of 10 months. Because I honour you for making quick decisions, jumping in there and, and trusting me for that whole year. So, as well as Amanda saying hell yeah to the teas and everything else, then we're going to go to the third element. So just to recap, first element is your audience. You might have lots of people, but nobody's engaging, nobody's doing any particular activity, no one's purchasing. And there's a lot more underneath that, but that's where you want to have a look first. Do like a quick review if you like. Okay, and if you don't have a list, that might be a place that you want to start and grow. And there's plenty of ways you can do that. This will tell you where to focus your visibility. Second piece is your business model. Don't just go out and do something because you admire somebody else that does it. It might not work for you. It might not work for your family. It might not work for your budget. It might not work for your audience. So, be really astute, be really discerning in how you share. Do it in a way that you love. Do it in a way that you could do it forever and a day. And do it in a way that serves your clients for the service that you offer. And C, all about your credibility. Now, this one always amazes me. I have worked with people who have been professionals and sometimes haven't been what they think are professionals. But one of the things that really amazes me, I've had a number of clients who have been like, when you see their website, they're all over Sky News and the BBC and in Cosmopolitan, Marie Claire, Psychology, lots of really kind of big, well-known magazines. And then they almost whisper in my ear, but I'm not making any money. Do you know how disheartening that is? Not only for me to hear as a person that helps people to be visible and to monetize that, but do you know how disheartening it is for a person when you work hard night and day? Your friends are going out and doing things and you're like, no, I've got this business, I'm going to just focus, get it off the ground. And then you start to get the accolades, the recognition, you start to speak on other stages, you start to get all of these really great gigs. Your friends are envious and everyone's saying, well done, that's amazing. And inside, you honestly think, if one more person says, well done, I'm going to punch them because this is not living the dream. Well, that means that you have a very great luxury credibility problem. And what you need to do is know how to leverage that credibility so that it works for you in attracting new clients, building the business that you love and helping to build on the credibility that you've already built. Okay. Now, on the flip side, some of you are like, oh, I'd love to be on the news. I'd love to be, doing this, that and the other, but I don't really know how to do it. And, I can tell you that last year I had some phenomenal and amazing experiences, as did my clients. I like to keep their work confidential, but, people that had been in lots of publications, people that had books published or books offered by well-known publishing houses, people who were asked to go and deliver a piece of work and were getting paid for it, people that were being invited to go and speak on different stages, bigger stages that they'd previously maybe stuck on their vision board and been dreaming of. So whether you are looking to increase that or to monetize that credibility, it's really important. So what do you focus on if it's about the audience, about the business, or about credibility? So the first thing, if it's the audience and you're doing an online gig, you need to make sure that you're out there more online. If you are trying to sell your online course and you want to only do stuff online, in some respects, there's no point doing a lot of offline networking. There is a point in doing some, but that shouldn't be kind of 80% of what you do. You need people to be able to find you. And in order to do that, you need a complete clarity of message. If you are listening to this and going, actually, I need the business piece of it, then the business piece of it is getting really clear on what you want. And you guys will hate this as entrepreneurs, but here's what you need to do. Stop. Stop spinning plates. Stop trying to do a gazillion things at one time. Stop getting into overwhelm. Stop thinking about business 24/7 and waking up at 6 a.m. and starting work then and finishing at like 10 o'clock at night. Stop ostracizing your friends, family, boyfriends, girlfriends, lovers, pets, whoever it is you're ostracizing, and just stop. Give yourself a break and take some time to look at what you actually want. Not what you think you should do or somebody does that you love, but what you think, what you actually want. When you start from that, it helps you to build a more sustainable model. One that sustains you, one that keeps you out of overwhelm, one that keeps you out of comparisonitis, and one that has you every time you do it, fills you with joy and excitement and has you flapping your gums as fast as I do on camera, because I love it. I love to be able to support people in that way. Okay, so then on the other side of the coin, you've got the client, the credibility part. Like, are you credible really? Or are you like a best kept secret? Do you keep everything kind of closed because you don't want to sound like a know-it-all? Or, if there's someone that does something similar to you, you don't want to acknowledge them. You'll know, I don't care what you do. You come onto this Facebook Live and you put a comment in there. When you put a comment in there, I'm not afraid to say, look, there's Ivona who's a relationship coach. I'm not afraid to say, look, there's Amanda who does marketing. Some of my work and Amanda's work, there's crossover, but I don't mind that because we're two very different people. Somebody might say, I don't like her with her sticky uppy hair and her flapping her gums at 100 miles an hour. And then someone might say, oh, Amanda, she's done this. I like her style. I like her presence. I like her energy. So, be unapologetic for who you are, how you deliver something. Don't feel that you have to be polished and perfect. Just use your credibility, not to say I am better than somebody else, but use your credibility to really help your people. And when you've done what I was talking about earlier in A, you know who your people are, you know what makes them tick, this is going to be so much easier. And to be honest, much more fun. So if you're not already part of the Visibility Made Easy, which is the Jenny in your pocket, it's totally online. And so that you don't feel like you are scrambling through videos, listening to audios and looking at checklists by yourself, what I actually throw in is every month you get to join the Inner Circle Visibility Vibes group, and we do a Q&A. A Q&A like this. I come on live, you get to ask me any questions you want about visibility and all things in between, and I answer it for you live. And after that's all finished and done with, I'll take the recording and I'll put it in the online class so you can go back and have a look again and again and again. Plus, you've got other juicy vibers in there you can bounce ideas off. You can say, this is my new offering, this is what I want to offer. And you know what? My tribe are pretty juicy. The Visibility Vibes tribe is really, really juicy. They are the friendliest, most encouraging people on the planet. So join us. Come join us. Ivona says, this is so helpful, Jenny. Thank you. You'll meet Ivona in the inner circle. She's cool. And she says it's what I needed to hear today. Well, I'm glad, because I have to say, sometimes I need to hear it myself. I can get the bright, shiny object as much as anyone else and be excited that I want to now start a podcast, or, you know, I want to now do the next new thing that other people are doing. But if it doesn't fit in line with what I want to do and how I want to serve you, there's no point. So Q&As are such value. I love those Q&As. Every month they happen, and in fact, because I didn't do one at the end of January, long story, we've actually got one tonight. So that will be starting at 7 o'clock in the group. And although it's a 45-minute Q&A, if the questions are coming in thick and fast, I will stay until the questions are answered. So thank you so much for watching. If I can ask you a favour, please share this. If you know someone that's got a business, whether they're just getting started, they've been doing it for a long time, or they're looking at exponentially growing and just changing up what they do, share this. You know, don't keep me a secret. Share it anywhere where you're allowed to share it. Don't start bugging Facebook group owners by just sharing it in there. But thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for sharing. And in a few seconds' time, a link will appear just under here where you can have a look, go into the online program, as I say, for as little as £29 a month, or do yourself a bundle at £81 a quarter, or even just do it annually, £290 a year, and you get 12 months for the price of 10. And more excitingly, you get my eyes on your business in the Q&A calls too. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you, Vibers. Thank you for those of you that came over from the Visibility Vibes tribe too. Go in the group, join the group, and just do me one last favour. Type underneath one of the things that you took away from what I shared. That's it. Thank you so much. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.